Comerica Park. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside Ken Singleton. Happy to be with you on this Wednesday evening here on Pix 11. You know, Gary Sanchez hasn't been in the major leagues that long, but one thing we have certainly learned, Ken, when he is hot, he is really hot.
He's having a great road trip. 6 hits on this road trip, 4 of them are home runs. Had a couple here last night. The Yankees scored in every odd inning. That includes the first, of course, and Gary Sanchez, a 493-foot home run, got things started. And then in the night, he capped it off in the 9th inning. This home run, another 2-run shot. The Yankees were on their way to a 13-4 win over the Tigers.
Take a look at tonight's Power Report. It's furnished by Bob's. Everything's better with a Bob-O-Pedic. Find out why at mybobs.com. You see the damage that Gary Sanchez has done in August in his career. Last year, 389, 11 homers. This year, 304, 9 homers. There's still time left in this calendar month as well. Now, the Yankees certainly happy with what they got out of Masahiro Tanaka last night in his first start back off the DL. And tonight, they turn to Luis Severino to continue the trend.
He's been pitching well of late. He's won 5 of his last 6 decisions. His last start was against the Mets at Citi Field. That was on the 17th, and he was sharp. 6 1/3 innings, struck out 9. When he left the ball game, the Yankees were up 7-1. The bullpen almost blew it. The Yankees held on and won by a score of 7-5.
When you look at Severino on the road, especially lately, his numbers are just electric. 3-0, a 0.67 ERA in his last 4 road starts, 30 strikeouts in 27 innings of work. Now, Gary Sanchez was not the only Yankee to get in on the offensive act last night. Todd Frazier had 3 hits, and he's been heating up. Our Meredith Marakovitz has more on the Todd Father next here on Pix 11.
Welcome back to Comerica Park. I'm Meredith Marakovitz. Joe Girardi mentioned the other day that he thought maybe Todd Frazier was trying to do a little bit too much when he was first traded to the Yankees. First 14 games with the team, he had just a 182 batting average. He has since improved dramatically, boosting that to 286 over the last 17. Last night, he compiled 3 hits, and he told me after the game he feels like he has settled in nicely in the batter's box.
I think I have. It's just one of these places where I've played before. You know, I'm kind of comfortable here. It's only natural, I think. You know, you try and come in and, you know, I'm not trying to hit a home run every swing, but I'm just trying to help this team and be successful. And I think that's what everybody wants to do. So if we got to follow one person, we'll do it. If we got to, you know, jump on board with Sanchez, we'll keep following him. And he keeps doing damage. I think everybody else will. It was contagious today. Hitting was contagious, so we'll take that.
Frazier also mentioned he really likes to hit here at Comerica. Since 2015, he's played in 18 games here, hitting 8 home runs over the span. That is the most for any visiting player. Plenty more to come here on Picks 11. When we get back, Ken Singleton will join Brian Rucco. Lineups, first pitch, baseball, after the break.
By Hyundai.com. By Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, more science, less fear. By your tri-state area Land Rover retailers. By Optimum, now with internet speeds up to 4 times faster. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your local tri-state Volkswagen dealers. Well, it is another gorgeous summer evening in Detroit. Get ready for the middle game of a 3-game set between the Yankees and the Tigers. Nice, cool, calm temperature. We'll take a look at the Yankees starting lineup. It's brought to you by Jeep, the most awarded lineup of SUVs ever. Brett Gardner leads off. Aaron Hicks in the 2-0. Gary Sanchez stays in the 3 spot after yesterday's success. Aaron Judge will back clean up. He reached base all 4 times. He was up yesterday. You see what Didi Gregorius has done over his last 13 games. Chase Headley and Todd Frazier follow him, and then Jacoby Ellsbury and Ronald Torreyes round out the Yankees' starting lineup.
Tigers have a veteran on the mound tonight, 31-year-old Jordan Zimmermann getting the start, and he's had kind of a rough year. Under 500 with the record, 7-10, more than a hit per inning, and the opponents are hitting .304 against him. Let's check out the pitcher scouting report brought to you by Geico. He's been bitten by the big fly. He's given up 26 home runs this year. And only one pitcher in the American League has given up more runs than Jordan Zimmermann. That's Ubaldo Jimenez of the Baltimore Orioles. But he's had 1 scoreless start out of those 24. And you guessed it, it came against the New York Yankees in New York. He pitched very well in that game, and he picked up a victory.
That was 3 weeks ago. And he is the last Tigers starter, not named Justin Verlander, to pick up a win. No other starter has for them in 3 weeks. Let's take a look at the Tigers' defense behind Zimmermann. It's brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Justin Upton back and left. Andrew Romine gets the start in center field with Alex Presley in right. Nicholas Castellanos at third. Jose Iglesias at short. Kinsler and Cabrera on the right side of the infield. And it's John Hicks, who's been really hitting, who catches Jordan Zimmermann. Well, the Yankees yesterday with 13 runs, their most since June 30th. And they put up a 13 spot at Houston.
We had mentioned the Yankees scored in every odd inning. It's like they scored, then they caught their breath the next inning, and then they scored some more the next inning.
And continued the trend right through the ninth as Gardner leads off and takes ball one.
They were talking about Zimmerman's win. That was on August 2nd. He went 7 innings, 6 hits, no runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts, and got the win.
Gardner ropes that to right and deep, and the catch is made on the run by Alex Presley as he just got to it.
Now, last night, leading off the game, Gardner hit a rope, but it was Mikey Matuk in center who ran it down. Tonight, another rope and a nice catch by Presley in right field to rob Gardner of an extra base hit. Ball was hit right on the nose.
So Gardner stroked it, but Presley flags it down. And 1 out now for Aaron Hicks. You mentioned that start from Zimmerman. Actually, his only 2 starts against the Yankees as a member of the Tigers, he's gone 7 innings and not allowed a run in each of them.
Yeah, he's been good against the Yankees in his career. He signed with the Tigers as a free agent coming over from the Nationals, and he's gone 3-0 against the Yankees.
And he has not had much success against anybody else. A 5.77 ERA versus all other opponents. You saw those numbers in the 4 career starts against the Yankees. Zimmerman signed a 5-year, $110 million deal before last season to join Detroit.
And some people thought he signed a little early, but one of the reasons he's from this, well, kind of neck of the woods. He's from Wisconsin. Want to be closer to home.
Hicks smokes that up the middle. Gloved by Iglesias, who fires, dug out by Cabrera to nail Aaron Hicks. Excellent defensive start for the Tigers.
Yeah, they've broken out the leather on the first 2 hitters. First, Gardner robbed of a hit, and Iglesias, who was an all-star a couple of years ago, shows all-star form on this particular play. Hicks hit it hard. Zimmerman couldn't get it. But Iglesias showing range and a strong arm. And a nice pick on the other end by Cabrera at first base. And he caught this ball. It was by him by the time he got the glove out and flagged it down and makes the play.
Here's Gary Sanchez. 2 more home runs yesterday. 25 on the season. First Yankee to hit 25 home runs in his age 24 season or younger since Don Mattingly back in 1985.
You know what I liked about the home runs he hit here last night? He hit one to left and he hit one to right. So it shows you he's seeing the ball well and he's going with the pitches.
And you take a look at the other names who have done that with the 25 homers at age 24 or younger. That is some excellent company. Well, that's kind of what you were talking about yesterday in regard to what Marcus Timms was discussing with you.
Yeah, that when he's hitting the ball well, it's line to line. He can pick a pitch up and out over the plate, drive to right field, up and in, and hit it to left.
That one he hits to left and deep, up and back, looking up, and Sanchez has done it again. The Kraken has certainly been released. It's 1-0 Yankees.
Well, as he did last night, a home run in the first inning. Maybe not quite as far tonight. In fact, the one he hit last night, the furthest ball ever hit here at Comerica Park. But the Yankees are out in front. It's an odd inning, so the Yankees must have scored.
Now you see that reaction from Didi Gregorius.
Yeah.
Kind of staring him down. And Didi explained to me that there's a little something going on with Gary Sanchez right now where Gary will go up to Didi, put his arms out, and say he's stealing the heat from Didi. Stealing his extra base hit power. Yes. And Didi said, if you look at it, since Gary's gotten hot, I don't have a home run because he's taking them all away from me. So that's why I'm staring him down whenever he hits one, because I know he's taking them from me.
Now, he would feel even worse if he wasn't hitting himself. Now, here's the reaction.
So Gary is literally, before his at-bats, going up to Didi, extending his arms like he's taking the power away from him and putting it in his own body. And clearly it's working out.
So Zimmerman allows his 27th home run of the year. He's in the top 5 in home runs allowed.
Judge loops that to right. That will get down for a base hit.
Well, broken bat single, you'll take it when you haven't been hitting particularly well, but this is hit well. Hanging breaking ball, middle of the plate. At this point, the way Sanchez is swinging the bat, you can't get anything towards the middle that he can put the barrel of the bat on.
26 home runs. And you saw Upton just give it the courtesy glance.
Yeah. Pitchers don't like that when you do that. You don't take any steps at all.
You saw Yoenis Cespedes do that with Aaron Judge's monster shot at Citi Field. He really got into the not moving at all.
Well, a lot of pitchers will tell you, at least you could give me a courtesy chase.
Judge goes, lost his helmet early and slides and is out. He lost his helmet at about step number 3 on his way to the bag, and he's thrown out stealing. But the Yankees strike first, and Sanchez strikes again. His 26th home run of the year, piping hot. Brought to you by your tri-state area Land Rover retailers. Ian Kinsler, Alex Presley, Justin Upton, the top third. Nicholas Castellanos backs up Miguel Cabrera. He's in the 5 spot. Victor Martinez moves to 6th. John Hicks has been red hot. He at 7th. And Andrew Romine and Jose Iglesias finish up the Tigers lineup.
Luis Severino getting the start for the Yankees tonight. And he is 1-1 in his career against Detroit. Excellent record this year, 10-5, 3.18 earned run average. You can see the strikeouts per innings pitch. He is a strikeout type pitcher. Let's check out the pitcher's scouting report brought to you by Geico. This year, for the first time in his career, he made the All-Star team. You have a feeling that Severino is going to make many more All-Stars, and he's been like butter lately. He's been on a roll. He's won 5 of his last 6 decisions, and he has an earned run average at night of 2.53. There's only one pitcher in the American League who has a better night game ERA than Luis Severino. That's Marcus Stroman of the Toronto Blue Jays. So this is the right time for Severino as the Yankees try and ensure a win in this series with a victory here tonight.
So it'll be Kinsler to lead off, then Presley and Upton. As Severino watches that, driven in the air to right. Hicks is there, 1 down. Take a look at the Yankee defense. It's brought to you by the Kia Summer SUV clearance event. Across the outfield, Gardner, Ellsbury, and Hicks, with Judge getting the DH day. Todd Frazier at third, Didi Gregorius at short, Torreyes and Headley on the right side of the infield, and Gary Sanchez, who's already gone deep again, catching Luis Severino.
Yeah, I was about to say, with Kinsley coming to the plate, you got to be careful with him because he's looking for that first fastball to jump on. He swung at the first pitch. He's hit 6 leadoff home runs this year and 46 in his career.
It's a lot of leadoff home runs.
Yeah, it is. Well, like I said, he's not. Some pitchers think that first pitch of the game that the leadoff hitter is just going to take it just to get things started. Kinsler's not in that boat. Not at all. He's never been on that ship. He's looking for the first pitch to go deep. We saw it in Texas. We see it here in Detroit.
That's poked foul as Presley stays alive.
So Presley in last night's ball game playing right field. The Tigers signed him as a minor league free agent. He spent some time in the big leagues with Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Houston, and Milwaukee.
Just off the outside corner, 1-2.
Severino with the explosive fastball, very good slider, electric slider, and a changeup that he's really improved on.
Swing and a miss, nasty. Ooh. Take a look at the keys to the game. They're brought to you by the Hyundai Summer Clearance Event.
Well, let's take a look. Take the Tigers out early. That's what the Yankees did last night with that 3-run first inning. Well, tonight maybe not 3, but they did score in the first. The Tigers are a team. They're struggling. They've lost, what, 13 out of their last 16. You score early on teams like this, and game's just about over. Yankee bullpen is rested for Joe Girardi tonight. Yankees only used 1 pitcher out of the bullpen last night, and you want to keep the offense moving. And the Yankees scored here in the first inning.
Severino dealing. Strike 1 to Justin Upton. Upton 0 for 3 last night before being replaced by Jacoby Jones once the game got away from Brad Osman and Detroit.
Well, it's got some good break on that slider in the early going. That was a nasty pitch right there. Upton just able to spoil it.
Severino also almost always has that palpable rhythm. He is ready to go.
You know, when the pitcher's pitching well, it's up to the catcher to keep things moving. Get that sign down so he's ready to go. Severino's in the attack mode, and he has been for quite a while now. 10-5 on the year.
Here's the 1-2. Down 2-2.
And the thing about that 98 that you just saw, he can keep that going into the latter stages of the game. It's the powerful arm.
Retains his velocity. The 2-2 from Severino. Swing and a miss. Nasty slider. 2 Ks and a 1-2-3 first for Luis Severino. 1-0 Yankees as we go to the second. For live Yankees baseball, stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Yankees home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. That's what every single person that you just saw on their phone was doing. They've already downloaded it, though, so they're just accessing the app. Now, Didi was up when Aaron Judge got thrown out stealing, as Didi pops up to third. Easy for Castellanos. One down. Yankees took a 1-0 lead on, yes, you guessed it, another home run from Gary Sanchez. His 26th of the year. Now has more home runs than anybody in baseball since August 9th. With 9, one more than Giancarlo Stanton.
Stanton's been otherworldly lately. What, 46 home runs now?
That's right.
Chase Headley's had a good road trip. He's 6 for 17 on this trip. He now has 30 multi-hit games, but I'm still saying he's hitting in bad luck. He hit the ball hard 3 times last night and had nothing to show for it. He was the only Yankee starter not to get a hit, and he hit 3 rockets.
That's something Meredith Marakovitz asked Joe Girardi about before the game, and Joe was joking about it, saying, you know, I usually think you're a smart player, but tonight you've been really dumb. Just hitting the ball exactly where they are.
Yeah.
Two straight strikes from Zimmerman, so the count now full. And Zimmerman robs Headley as it continues for Chase.
I'm not going to say anything. Another hard hit ball, and Zimmerman snags it, throws on the first for the out. Oh well. You know, I don't think Iglesias would have got that one. Maybe the second baseman Kinsler would have, but doesn't matter. Zimmerman flagged it down.
Take a look at Who's Hot, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Frazier 6 for his last 13.
5 runs batted in, too. That's a good night here last night. Hit a triple. He hadn't hit one in a few years.
And he was telling Meredith in the postgame he likes hitting in this park. Feels comfortable here.
With the Tigers in the Central, the White Sox came in here quite often.
That's rolled slowly to short. Iglesias picks, fires, inning over. Yankees go down 1-2-3 in the second, 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the inning. The Kia Summer SUV Clearance Sales Event. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. By CheapoAir.com, go to Pix11.com/team travel for great deals on your favorite teams. By Fios. Fios is not cable. We're wired differently. Visit GetFios.com. And by your local Chevy dealer. Visit ChevyOffers.com.
I was just looking at that ride that we showed during the commercials there.
And you were thinking I might have to do the game solo for a couple innings?
No, I was thinking that's as big as the baseball looks to Gary Sanchez now coming to home plate.
Sanchez going yard in the first inning to continue his tear. That's right to Torreyes. Cabrera played perfectly, one down.
So getting another start at second base tonight.
Starlin Castro still rehabbing, as is Greg Bird. Joe Girardi saying that Bird would play for Scranton both tomorrow and today in the field. Get him back-to-back days. Today is just a 7-inning game because they had to complete the game from yesterday due to rain.
Tonight is the 37th start at second base for Torreyes.
He's young too, Kenny.
Oh wow!
You know,
they're all young to me.
Yeah. You've been really on your age the last couple days.
No, I haven't. No, I feel great.
I feel like I need to drag you out of that.
I feel great.
Gregorius gloves that. 2 down. But my point to Torreyes' youth, 24 years old, is he could be in this role for a while, or maybe ascend to something else. But he's proven he can really handle being your utility infielder. We've seen it 2 seasons in a row now where you stick him either at short or second or third, occasionally the outfield. You feel very comfortable and you know he's going to give you competitive at bats.
He's done a tremendous job.
Will that loop over? It will, just over Torreyes and into right for a base hit for Victor Martinez. Tigers swinging early against Severino.
Well, even with the shift, Victor Martinez is able to find a soft spot in the zone. You can see that the Torreyes in short right field, just over his head. So the veteran Victor Martinez with his first hit of the series.
And here's John Hicks. Done a nice job in his limited action.
Swinging the bat pretty well. Got a 5-game hitting streak, and that included a hit on a pinch hit appearance last night. The thing about it, you saw Judge take off and try and steal in the top half of the first inning. Hicks is not the defensive catcher that James McCann is. And I think the Yankees are thinking about taking advantage of that. We'll have to see for the remainder of the game if anybody else takes off and tries to steal. McCann getting the night off. He'll probably be catching tomorrow afternoon's game with Michael Fulmer on the mound.
You wonder what the Yankees will do with Sanchez red hot. Day game after night, maybe a DH day.
Yeah, he'll be DH, and I think Judge will be back out in right field. And Austin Romine will catch. Jaime Garcia tomorrow. There's James McCann with the night off. He's been swinging the bat pretty well too. So is Hicks.
Strike 3, painted the outside corner with 99, and Severino works around the 2-out single from Martinez. 1-0 Yankees as we go to the 3rd. Optimum now with internet speeds up to 4 times faster. Well, they have been hit with some big injuries. Andrew Miller back on the DL. Danny Salazar on the DL with a right elbow injury. Jason Kipnis with a hamstring. And Carlos Santana is day-to-day. Indians have played really good baseball in the second half as well.
Yeah, Michael and I did the series in Cleveland, and Kipnis was just coming off the disabled list with a hamstring injury.
We see that with hamstrings, Kenny. We've seen it with Castro.
Yeah, that's right. When he came back, he wasn't ready.
Ellsbury lines that into center field, a base hit to lead off the third for Jacoby Ellsbury.
Now, here's where you might expect the Yankees trying to get the running game going. Ellsbury, of course, an accomplished base stealer, 16 out of 18 this year. Torreyes at the plate, maybe a good hit and run candidate. Puts the bat on the ball. Zimmerman throws strikes. That works to a hit and run advantage. He's going to be around the plate, and of course he's thinking with Ellsbury's speed, checks him at first.
We should mention, Kenny, with Judge getting thrown out, that ended a string of the Yankees being 12 for their last 12 stealing bases.
So it was a unlucky 13, right?
That's right. A long set. Now Zimmerman will step off. And now Hicks will go chat with Jordan Zimmerman. And one of Zimmerman's issues has been he has lost velocity on his fastball. Used to throw it more 94 to 96. Now he's more around 91 to 93.
Which means his location's going to have to be better. His last 2 starts, he's given up 7 runs in each one of those starts. So he has not been pitching well lately.
Ellsbury bluffed. Torreyes smokes that to left, and the Yankees have their first 2 on here in the third.
Torreyes had a couple of hits here last night. Gets off to a good start tonight. His average up over 290 now with this solid shot into left field. You can see Castellanos up close guarding against the bunt. Torreyes took advantage and ripped one through the hole.
Again, you talked about having to be more fine with the fastball. That was one of the manifestations of his issues we just saw. He has really struggled on first pitches this year. As a result, he's given up more hits on first pitch strikes than anybody in baseball.
You know what? Because he's trying to get the ball over and maybe not concentrating on the corners that much.
Gardner fights that off into center. Ellsbury will tag at second. He will go. Here's the throw from Romine, not in time, and Torreyes will follow Ellsbury. So a productive at bat for Brett Gardner and good base running from the Yankees.
Oh, Andrew Romine in center field tonight, who plays a lot of different positions. And Ellsbury didn't hesitate. He was going to go and just put the pressure on the defense here. And this is, medium deep center field. Ellsbury said, I've got this. And not only does he make it, good base running by Torreyes to follow up and go down to second. So both runners advance.
Ooh. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Here's Aaron Hicks with runners on second and third. And 1 out. Strike 1 to Hicks. Of course, Gary Sanchez lingering on deck.
Well, the Tigers are going to give away a run here. If there's a ground ball to short or second, the Yankees are going to get a run. If it's hit to the third baseman, if he has to go with his left, Ellsbury can score. Keep it away from first base if the ball's hit fairly hard.
And as far as anything in the air, as we just saw, the outfield arms are not particularly strong when it comes to the Tigers. That's driven down the right field line. Foul. A long way.
It certainly had the distance, didn't it?
Yeah.
Home run last night here for Hicks. Take a look at it. This is one of those no-doubters. off into the Detroit night. His 13th of the year.
Good take from Hicks. Count evens at 2-2. The Yankees have already gotten to Zimmerman more than they had in his previous 2 starts with the Tigers against them. 2 shutout appearances, 1 last year, 1 this season.
Yeah, we're having another conference on the mound here.
Big pitch here early in the game coming from Zimmerman, and he and Hicks want to get on the same page.
Which Hicks are you talking about?
Aaron wants a little look at that page.
Yeah, he wants it right down the middle.
Here's the 2-2. And the count is now full on Aaron Hicks with Gary Sanchez, who's already homered again tonight, lingering on deck.
Yeah, that was another good take by Aaron Hicks.
So they are having a tough time getting on the same page here.
Yeah, this is what helps slow down ball games.
Yankees with a 1-0 lead and a lot of hard outs early in this game. Threatening here with 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Here's the 3-2 to Hicks. That is outside ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Gary Sanchez.
Well, Zimmerman was careful with Hicks. There was a base open, but this is not one of the guys in the league you want up there now with the bases loaded. This is the first inning, a hanging slider, hanging no more. Driven deep to left field for home run number 26 on the season.
Sanchez with 9 homers in his last 14 games. 18 ribbies over that stretch. And has the bases chucked here in the 3rd with 1 out. Oh, 0-1. Sanchez in his career 3 for 13 with the bases loaded. No grand slams. You see those numbers over his last 14 games where he has done about as much damage as any hitter in baseball over that stretch. Sanchez fights that off into shallow left center, and that will get down for a base hit. Ellsbury will score. Here comes Torreyes. He too will score. A 2-run single for Gary Sanchez, and the Yankees have a 3-0 lead.
I'll tell you what, Torreyes had to hold up to see if that ball was going to be caught, but Joe Espada knows his speed, and he sent him. And it wasn't even close at home plate. The ball was cut off. You were talking about the outfield arms. This is a blooper. Ellsbury thinking about tagging. He sees it. And watch Espada. He's going to wave him home. That ball fell in short left center field and not even a play at the plate. There's Torreyes at the top of your screen at second base. There's the ball going to fall in. Now he breaks. And Espada's going to say, keep on going, young man.
And now Judge up. He has reached base in each of his last 5 plate appearances, all 4 last night. And a broken bat single in his first at bat tonight.
Must be an odd inning. The Yankees scored again.
Yeah. How about that? It's continued all series. Every odd inning last night they scored. The first 2 odd innings tonight. Kenny, you pointed out, you can see the Yankees are absolutely fixated on testing those outfield arms.
Yeah, well, you can see that Joe Espada knows his base runners too. Torreyes runs very well.
Yep.
And when you're in the lead, that's when you take chances on the bases.
Judge behind 1-2. Yesterday, Judge snapped a 37-game streak with at least one strikeout. And he was pulled from the game for Jacoby Ellsbury in the 7th inning. Joe Girardi was asked, well, did the streak have anything to do with that? And he said, no, I'm trying to spell rest for him when I can. But he did admit that he's glad that Judge at least won't have to answer anything about that anymore. One of the ancillary benefits of pulling him.
You know, I don't think Aaron Judge is really worried about that. I think he's worried about winning ball games.
Judge battling, stays 2-2.
You know, I wouldn't like, striking out 37 games in a row. I remember it was here in Detroit. I struck out 5 times in a row over 2 games. And I remember the 5th one was like the 3rd out of the inning, and I'm getting ticked off, and I'm walking out to right field, and I turned to Eddie Murray and said, I'm going to bunt next time up. And he said, no, you're not. And I said, yeah, you're right, I'm not.
And what happened next time?
I didn't strike out.
And you didn't bunt?
No, I didn't bunt either.
Zimmerman wanted that call on the outside corner.
Yeah.
That's clearly off.
No, it was the ball. Usually you hear from the dugout, quit begging.
So Judge has worked the count back full with 2 on and 1 out. And now a check at second. Hicks back easily. Judge did tell Meredith that he wouldn't have even known about it had he not been asked about it constantly. As far as the strikeout streak goes.
Was it Meredith who was asking him about it?
Every single day, Meredith would go up to him and say, Aaron, what is going on with this streak? It fostered a really great give and take. Here's the payoff. Judge rifles that into center field. Racing back is Romine looking up, and it's off the wall. Hicks will score. Right behind him is Sanchez, but he will be held up. It is a laser ribby double from Aaron Judge, and the Yankees lead is now 4-0.
Well, in most ballparks in this league, that would have been a home run, but it's 420 feet to straightaway center field here in Detroit. Maybe not quite as far as Tiger Stadium, which was 440 just a few blocks from here. But this one is well hit. Romine, all he could do is run it down, get it back in. Sanchez is held at third. Joe Espada knows he's not Ronald Torreyes with the speed, but Judge has himself a run batted in, and the Yankees have themselves another run.
And this whole 3-4 thing with Sanchez third and Judge fourth has certainly worked out in the first 2 days since Joe Girardi made that switch.
You might look for that again tomorrow. Left-hander Chad Bell is up in the Tiger pen.
So now Didi Gregorius will hit with Judge on second, Sanchez at third, and still just 1 out. The Yankees have gotten to Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman at an ERA just under 10 over his last 3 starts since beating the Yankees.
Yeah, we said he hasn't been pitching that well.
No. The 1-0. That is smashed up the middle, a base hit. Sanchez will score. Judge will stop at third. An RBI single for Didi Gregorius, and the merry-go-round keeps going. It's 5-0 Yankees.
Another hard hit ball. Last night, Brad Ausmus, the Tiger manager, saw a short start by Matthew Boyd, who only went 2 in the third. And this is more of the same tonight. Starting pitching has not been effective against the Yankee bats. There is Boyd, who took the loss last night.
So the Yankees with 4 runs in the inning, and still ducks on the pond for Chase Headley, first and third with just 1 out. Strike on the inside corner. Headley was sort of robbed again of what looked like it was going to be a base hit. His first at bat. Zimmerman reached out and snared a hard grounder towards the middle. Which means at some point a flare is going to drop.
Well, you know, I always say keep hitting them hard. They're not going to catch them all. Went to a changeup.
Check on Didi. Inning started with back-to-back singles from Ellsbury and Torreyes. Then a flyout from Gardner that advanced them to second and third. A walk to Hicks. A 2-run single from Sanchez. An RBI double from Judge. An RBI single from Gregorius. And now Headley with a 2-2 count.
We talked about keeping the offense moving and the keys to the game, and it's chugging right along.
Headley hits that in the air to center. Plenty deep enough to score. Judge, who will tag from third. Romine will just toss it into second. A sacrifice fly for Chase Headley, and the Yankees lead is now 6-0.
Good situational hitting. Run batted in, number 47 for Headley.
You can see the look on Headley's face, like, I wanted to do more with that.
Yeah, it's the worst ball I've hit.
Yeah, exactly.
2 days.
And yet the most productive.
Yeah. And speaking of being productive, the Yankees have batted around here in the 3rd inning.
And they have scored all 19 of their runs in this series in odd innings. This will be the 30th pitch of the inning from Zimmerman. Popped up behind the plate. Hicks going over and makes a nice backhanded catch up against the screen to end the frame. So the Yankees bat around in the 3rd. They plate 5. They have 6. 6-0 Bombers as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Marissa and the rest of the Picks Morning News crew with all the news, weather, and traffic you need to start your day. Mornings from 5 to 9 on the Picks 11 Morning News, New York's very own. Luis Severino now with a 6-0 lead in the bottom of the third. And he will deal to Andrew Romine to lead off the inning, who, of course, Meredith, is the brother of Austin Romine.
And, Ryan, I think it's safe to say that baseball is in the Romine's blood. Their father, Kevin, played for the Red Sox. And growing up, Andrew called him his idol. He wanted to be a big leaguer just like Dad. Austin told me he'd try to emulate him. His father actually put the first bat in Austin's hand. And some even say now that their swing is a little bit similar. The Romine brothers were extremely competitive growing up. Andrew, older by 3 years, said he'd never let down or give in. He'd make sure that Austin had to earn every win, whether it was in video games, board games, or on the baseball field. Austin said that forced him to persevere and fight, helping him not only in baseball, but in life. And you can really tell there's a special bond between these two, and you can hear from both of them as well as their parents on tomorrow's pregame show.
Very nice.
All right. Look forward to that.
We will be watching. You see the resumes for those two.
Here's Austin.
You know, that competitiveness Meredith's talking about, we see it with the crossword puzzles with Austin Romine. He's constantly going at them.
And they are still competitive, the two Romine brothers, to date. Austin saying that he wants to be a pitcher. His brother, as you mentioned, Kenny, plays just about every position, but there is one that he has not played in his major league career yet, and that is catcher, because Austin says there is no way he can do that.
Rolled slowly to Gregorius. Didi across his body. Throws out Iglesias, 2 down.
Nice play by Didi. As Meredith mentioned, Andrew's gotten a chance to pitch in blowout games. He's pitched in 3 of them. And you're right. The only place he hasn't played is a catcher. Andrew was actually born in Winter Haven, Florida, and that's where the Red Sox had spring training for many, many years. Of course, now they're in Fort Myers.
You know what I always wonder, Kenny? If your dad is a pro, do you listen to him as your coach? Because kids are very resistant to listen to dad as coach.
That's true.
Would Justin listen to you growing up when you would try and coach him?
Yeah, he would.
That is a hint of I made him.
No. Wasn't like that. he was good.
A quick 1-2-3 inning for Luis Severino as he retires 8-9-1 in order. It's 6-0 Yankees as we go to the 4th. To action presented by your Tri-Honda dealer. Has replay made baseball better, yes or no? Go to pix11.com/vote. What do you think, Kenny?
No question it's made it better. Sometimes it's made it longer, but it's made it better.
Those two women voting very quickly on their phones.
I mean, the whole idea is get the call correct.
Right. Well, think about how many times we see a call overturned. Now imagine all of those calls just standing erroneously.
A lot of games would have been determined maybe in other directions.
Right. Ellsbury got the Yankees offense started in the third. Singling and coming around to score one of 5 third-inning runs as the Yankees batted around.
Just think about this. Zimmerman's back out there quickly.
Yeah.
Man, he threw 30-something pitches last inning. Severino comes out, throws 8 pitches, and now Zimmerman's back out there.
That is blooped into shallow left. Iglesias will track it and glove it. 1 down.
The second baseman,
30 pitches in that third for Zimmerman. 3 more ribbies tonight already for Gary Sanchez, who has homered. That's the best way to eat a pretzel. Maybe the best way to do anything. Just getting a ride on Dad's shoulders. Torreyes turns on that and smokes it into left. Takes a big turn, will head for second, and he is there with a 1-out double as Ronald Torreyes is 2 for 2.
As I mentioned, 2 hits here last night. He went 2 for 3 with a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. And 2 more hits here tonight. Up and in, and he just turns on it. This is one of those turn and then burn. He's headed for second. 2-base hit. Eight hits now for the Yankees. They had, what, 16 last night.
Gardner started the game with a laser to right that Alex Presley made a leaping catch of on the warning track.
Well, if the Yankees score in this inning, it's going to break their string.
Yes, they've only scored in odd innings so far in this series.
There's nobody warming up in the Tigers' pen right now. We already saw Chad Bell once. If he's up again, it shouldn't take him too long to get loose.
Maybe at 6-0, it's, hey, we're going to need a little length out of you.
Well, I can see Brad Osmus thinking here, because this is a day game tomorrow. Quick turnaround. You wouldn't use too many guys out of the bullpen. Everybody will be tired going into tomorrow's game. The Tigers used 4 pitchers out of the pen last night.
And Gardner ahead 3-1 on Zimmerman, with Torreyes on second. 1 out and Hicks on deck. Gardner fights that off into center. Romine will get to it for out number 2.
Yeah, that one had too much hang time. For a moment, I thought he had blooped it in there. Gardner's got a 5-game hitting streak going. But has been shut out thus far tonight.
Hicks walked and scored in the third. Had a base hit taken away from him by Iglesias in the first.
You know what we've seen from Hicks this year. He possessed all the tools of what you would expect a #1 draft pick would have. Except here in the big leagues, he hasn't really hit. Everything else has been pretty good. He runs the bases well. Good defender, strong arm. But his hitting is beginning to catch up to the rest of his game. Now, it's almost a shame that he had out with that injury, because he's really putting together a really good year. And to miss, what, 39 games is like a quarter of the season.
And he has struggled a bit since coming back, although 2 hits last night, including a home run. He's had a couple big hits since coming back.
Yeah.
Zimmerman steps off. We have seen that a lot tonight. Hicks punches that into center. Romine jogs in and puts it away as the Tigers work around the Torreyes double. To the bottom of the 4th we go. Action presented by your Tri-Honda dealers. 90% of you said yes, replay has made baseball better. 10% of you said no, we're not sure what you were thinking. 26,000 of you voted. So thank you to everybody who participated.
That's a good number.
Luis Severino staked to a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Both Severino and Tanaka now, back-to-back nights, have been given very big cushions early.
What that means is every pitch does not mean the ball game. And you can afford to lay a 2-0 pitch right down the middle. Now, we were talking before the game during Joe Girardi's press conference in the dugout. We asked him about Tanaka and you know, how he came through last night. Remember, Tanaka came off the disabled list, and I asked Joe any news on how Tanaka is, and Joe said no news is good news. I didn't hear anything. You know, he would have known if something was wrong with Tanaka. So I guess that it looks good for his next start. Got the win last night. First ever win against the Detroit Tigers.
Right to Headley, who snared it in the air, 1 down. Well, when you start thinking about putting together winning streaks, Kenny, if you have Tanaka pitching well, just think about him and Severino and Gray, and Sabathia. Yeah. Joe Girardi feels like Jaime Garcia has given them a chance to win every time he's taken them out.
There were the numbers on Tanaka last night. Didn't walk anybody. 90 pitches in 7 innings. It was pretty much in the control most of the game. I think he had 1 inning where he's a little shaky. He got too many pitches in the middle of the plate.
I believe it was the 3rd. Yeah.
Severino struck out Upton on one of the nastiest sliders you want to see last time up.
One of his 3 strikeouts in this game.
This is not where you want to be. 0-2 with Severino on the mound with a great slider, powerful fastball.
Looking for the fastball up. Upton stays alive.
He didn't quite get it up enough, but if he throws that same slider he threw in the first at bat, so he wanted it up a little bit higher. He was able to not swing through it. He got a piece of it.
The 0-2. There was the slider.
That was it, but he didn't go for it.
.92-mile-an-hour darts.
And you think of a Zimmerman's fastball is about 91, 92.
Looks like he wants to change up. Swing and a miss, got him on it.
It was a beauty. You saw that sign, the little finger wiggle. That means it's going to be the change. Good time to call. He hasn't thrown that many tonight, but that's a good one. It strikes out Upton. 4 strikeouts now for Severino, including Upton twice.
Yankees pitchers have not issued a walk yet in this series. That was Tanaka and Shreve last night. Severino so far tonight.
Yeah, I read something today. The Yankees have had 10 games this year where they haven't walked a batter. They are 8-2 in those 10 games. No free passes.
Flick down the right field line, foul. Well, Yankee pitching in general has been very good since the All-Star break, and it's been particularly good for them from their starters of late. Starters have allowed 3 runs or fewer in each of their last 9 starts.
Keep that up for about 6 more weeks, 5 more weeks.
Tilts foul.
Think about Miguel Cabrera. He's got power to all fields. Very quick inside, although this year he hasn't been as quick on pitches in. And I can recall a few years ago, he hit a home run at Yankee Stadium on a pitch that must have been 4 inches off the plate inside. and he just somehow pulled it into the seats in left field.
Well, you're talking about him not being as quick in. Kenny, look where Brett Gardner is playing in left field.
And look at Ellsbury in center. And Hicks is playing him like a left-handed hitter in right field. That comes from scouting reports.
And obviously Severino throws cheese as well.
I like that. When the hitter calls for the appeal.
Adrian Beltre started the trend, and now we see so many hitters do it. We see Gary Sanchez do it. Cabrera was so confident as soon as he checked the swing there. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you have the umpire pointing at the first base umpire for help, the catcher and the hitter. One of the three is going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Here it is again. Yeah, he didn't swing, and he knew it. There's two. And then eventually, home plate umpire Ben May would point down in that direction.
Strike three, nasty slider, and Severino strikes out two in a 1-2-3 fourth. Gary Sanchez leading off the fifth. He's already gone deep again tonight. Has 3 ribbies. What else does he have in the back? The Kraken steps to the plate next here on Pix 11. Cast is Friday at 7 when the Yankees take on the Seattle Mariners. The playoff push continues right here on Pix 11, New York's home for baseball. Yankees with a 6-0 lead. Top of the 5th inning, and the man who started the offense, Gary Sanchez, leads off. A solo homer in the first, a 2-run single in the third, and a big swing for strike one. Yankees have scored in every single odd inning thus far in these 2 games. Sanchez hits that hard, gloved by Iglesias. Nice stab, and he retires Sanchez.
Nice play by Iglesias, but that hop came up nicely for him. This ball stays down. It's a tougher play. Watch the hop. Hit hard, takes one big hop. He catches about shoulder height, and then turns and fires for the out. Ball stays down. It's a tougher play. Accurate throw. And Sanchez is retired.
Here's Judge. He cues that to the right side. Cabrera will toss to Zimmerman. And Judge, who had reached base in 6 straight plate appearances, including 2 hits so far tonight, is retired.
Tell you what, the streak is on the line, isn't it?
There have been some good signs with Judge these last 2 days.
Yeah, they have been.
A hard hit to left after 3 walks yesterday. A flare to right to begin today, and then just a laser off the base of the wall in center for an RBI double in his second at bat today.
Yeah, that would have been a home run in most parts.
Yes. 420 feet in straightaway center here at Comerica. Gregorius gets into that to right center field. Going back is Presley, looking up, and it is gone. Didi Gregorius with his 19th home run of the year, and the Yankees still scoring in all those odd innings. It's 7-0.
Yeah, the pressure was on with 2 outs and nobody on, but Didi Gregorius goes deep.
And now we'll see if he has some words for Sanchez, who clearly gave him the power back. You see Sanchez, arms crossed. He's not going to celebrate. Now, in case you're just joining us and wondering what that's about, you see Didi pointing over to Sanchez, who finally will acknowledge him. Didi had joked that Sanchez has been stealing his power from him, as Romine gloves it shoestring style to end the inning.
Headley, another tough out.
And the Yankees another run in an odd inning as Gregorius gets the power back from Sanchez. Brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Indians and Red Sox scoreless in the top of the 5th. Toronto on top of Tampa Bay. We'll see the action elsewhere. Yankees 4.5 back of Boston. Beginning action today. Red Sox behind Doug Fister beat the Indians last night after dropping the opener of that series.
It was a complete game for Fister, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He gave up a home run to the first batter, then no other hits after that.
One hitter.
Yeah. Was it Francisco Lindor, I think? Took him deep?
That's right.
Yeah.
Gregorius. One down. Severino has given up just one hit thus far in this game, one base runner, and it came off the bat of this man, Victor Martinez.
Very productive career. 5-time All-Star. Hey, right now he's talking to Gary Sanchez. Says, what have you been eating for breakfast? I'll have what he's having.
Victor Martinez in his 15th season. Chad Bell back up. He was up early in this game. Martinez has 1 year left on his deal. It's fair. Headley sticks with it. 2 down. Martinez due to make $18 million next year. A few veterans who are very accomplished who are probably on different timetables than what the Tigers are looking at for the future. When you think about Martinez and Miguel Cabrera and Justin Verlander.
All those contracts were paid out in hope that because the Tigers were near a championship team, they just weren't able to do it.
Knocked on the door a couple of times.
Yeah,
in
late
the Verlander era.
Yeah, late owner Mike Ilitch, very benevolent owner. Beloved here in Detroit.
And he went for it.
Yeah, he did.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
That was solid. You can see Hicks. It's almost like you don't want the trainer to touch it.
Hit that back arm. You can see Romine just say, ouch.
That's not fun when somebody's throwing 98, 99. And that ball just kept running in on him. 99 miles an hour.
Oh.
Knocked him off his feet.
You know, you hope it caught the muscle there in the forearm just above the elbow, but you can see Severino upset with himself there as well. There's a second base runner for the Tigers. Ouch indeed.
You know, it's interesting because I was watching MLB Network today and Pedro Martinez was on. And they showed Pedro a couple of instances where pitchers hit batters. And they asked Pedro, do you think it was intentional? And Pedro both times says, yeah, he did it on purpose. And then Pedro said, I used to be a sharpshooter myself.
Yeah, he knows a little something about that. Yankees fans certainly very familiar with Pedro's ways.
You know, Meredith was talking about how the Romine brothers are very competitive. Now, you know, I should ask Austin, how come his brother became a switch hitter and you didn't?
Something to ask him tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's the second hit of the game for Detroit. Severino in the stretch for the first time in a while. And 2 on with 2 out here in the 5th. I always love Aaron Hicks' story of how he became a switch hitter. A lot of you are familiar with it, but for those of you who aren't. His dad just wanted him to play golf.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, if you want to play baseball, then you have to hit left-handed, thinking that Aaron would fail, hate it, and stop playing. Instead, he obviously became pretty good. And so hit from both sides.
You ever seen him play golf?
I've never seen him play golf.
I've seen him on the driving range.
Yeah.
It is a sight to behold.
Yeah.
300 yards easy. Easy power.
Wasn't able to get out for a while with that injury.
No, he wasn't.
Iglesias hits that hard, but right to Gregorius, deals with the high hop and flips to second to end the threat. Severino through 5 shutout innings. The Yankees a 7-0 lead. Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. More science, less fear. Jordan Zimmerman's night is done as he allows 7 runs for a 3rd straight start. And Chad Bell is into the game for Detroit. Just his 6th, make that 19th big league appearance. He has finished 5 games this season, an ERA over 5.5. Zimmerman goes 5 innings, allows 9 hits, 7 runs, walk 1, did not strike out a batter. He doesn't usually strike out batters. He pitches to contact.
Yeah, he does, but this is the 3rd consecutive start he's given up at least 7 runs. Or
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly 7
Yep.
runs.
Well, Kenny, one of the things you emphasized yesterday was, hey, if you're the Yankees, you had the off day after the Red Sox lost, you take care of business against a struggling Tiger team that's now lost 13 of their last 16.
Score early, take them out of the game. Basically, they did that in the 3rd inning with 5, the way Severino's pitching.
They did it last night for Masahiro Tanaka.
Now, the point, if the Yankees go on and win this game, now tomorrow's game's the most important. You got to go out there and try and win and move on. Sweep the Tigers.
Yankees will face Michael Fulmer tomorrow. You see the standings in the American League East. The Red Sox playing the Indians tonight. and 4 games between those teams looming at Yankee Stadium.
Here's tomorrow's starter for the Tigers, Rookie of the Year last year.
He had struggled a little bit and then had a nice bounce back start against the Dodgers. As the hard luck loser wasn't helped by his defense.
Scouting report on the pitcher Chad Bell. That's Marcus Thames, the assistant hitting coach for the Yankees, giving the information to Gary Sanchez. A little harder to read when it's upside down.
Just a quick peek. I think Marcus is wondering if he's ever going to get that back from Gary. As Frazier works the walk. Looks like the answer is no. Sanchez is hanging on to that. Take a look at the Yankees' upcoming schedule. Go to pix11.com/team travel for great deals from cheapoair.com. Yankees will finish up this series with an afternoon game on Yes against the Tigers, then 3 against Seattle, 3 against Cleveland, 4 against Boston. Huge homestand to finish out the month and around into September and Labor Day weekend. By the way, one note on that schedule, the ESPN game on that first Sunday of September is a 7:35 start rather than your typical ESPN 8:05 start.
Chad Bell, the Tigers picked him up from the Texas Rangers in a deal for catcher Bobby Wilson.
Made his major league debut at 28 years old this season.
Pretty good slider that he had Ellsbury swing through. Tried it again.
That scouting report's being passed around.
Well, the Yankees probably never seen this guy before.
Of course. Chase Headley was just looking for if there was a map to finding some place for a ball to drop out in the outfield. Because this is now 2 consecutive games that he has consistently hit the ball on the nose and been robbed or hit it right at somebody. And just to confirm, this is the first time that the Yankees have ever faced Chad Bell. And Ellsbury walks, so back-to-back walks to begin the 6th inning for Frazier and Ellsbury.
Well, they're putting the pressure on an even inning now.
The Yankees have scored in only odd innings and every odd inning in this series. Very odd, even for this offense. Torreyes, yep, another hit for Ronald Torreyes. Frazier rounding third. Here's the throw from Upton. It is cut off. An RBI single for Torreyes, his 3rd hit of the game. And the Yankees have an 8-0 lead as they score in an even inning.
How about Toe? Single, a double, and now another single. He scored a run and driven in one.
Average is going to be right back near 300.
Yeah,
looks like it's 296 now.
You know, you think about some of the really important, impactful utility men that the Yankees have had throughout the years. Think about what Luis Sojo did for them.
You're saying he's a modern-day Luis Sojo?
Well, I think he's a different player, but he's certainly making that kind of impact.
Yeah.
And we saw what Miguel Cairo did for a little while. Jose Vizcaino played a strong role. That is smashed, but snared by Cabrera. He'll get the out at second. Gardner's hit the ball hard a few times tonight with no luck either. Clay Bellinger, Andy Fox was one of those guys who all really, you know, they played an important role. Obviously, it's not a starring role. But Ronald Torreyes has looked like he's at the beginning of being one of those memorable, impactful utility men for this team.
A chance for Hicks here to drive in a run.
Of course, we wanted to go back further. Kenny, Brian Doyle back with the 70s Yankees. Huge World Series. MVP.
Before your time, wasn't it?
That's right. But I watched these tapes.
Yeah, there was television.
That's right.
Yeah, there was TV.
Yankees classics on Yes. Come on. Get it while it's hot. Hicks waves and misses, and he is down on strikes. So that'll send up Gary Sanchez with first and third and 2 outs now. Hicks 0 for 3 with a walk. Sanchez 2 for 3 with a homer, 3 ribbies, and 2 runs scored. No, Kenny, if you look at since Gary Sanchez was called up for good, because he had a couple real brief stints before August 3rd last year, but August 3rd was when he was called up for good. He has 46 home runs since he was called up for good on August 3rd last year. That's chopped high to short. Iglesias ends the inning with the Yankees finally score in an even frame thanks to Ronald Torreyes' third hit, an RBI single. It's 8-0 Bombers.
control tonight. He's got 5 strikeouts, hasn't walked the batter, hasn't had a 3-ball count yet tonight. Had a couple strikeouts in the first inning, good breaking balls. Called strikeout in the second, took an inning off in the third, then came back with 2 more strikeouts in the fifth, and one Miguel Cabrera ended the inning. So just a couple of hits allowed and no runs thus far for Luis Severino.
Severino's last 7 starts, dominant numbers.
Remember a few years back when Severino was down at Trenton, and you were seeing stories about him on the pregame shows.
Yeah.
About how he was going to be a future star, and it shows you how difficult it is to come to the big leagues and break in, because it didn't happen right away. Now he had to go back to the minor leagues a couple of times. Once to work on his slider, another time to work on his change, and both times he's improved those pitches. And this is what you have now. The fastball was always there.
Right. What do you think about it, Kenny? Even in spring training this year, there were a lot of people who were surprised Severino got a rotation spot out of spring.
Yeah. Well, I think that was more out of necessity.
Yeah,
looking for a starter. Yeah.
Right, exactly, because he didn't pitch particularly well at the beginning or middle of spring, but he has been an ace this entire season.
Well, what you saw was the success out of the bullpen last year.
Yeah.
Not as a starter, but I think the Yankees always viewed him as a starting pitcher, like he had been in the minor leagues.
Well, it's something David Cohn, our colleague, always preaches: the value of having success at the major league level. As you take a look at tonight's high-speed pitch coming from Duncan. America runs on Duncan, 100 miles an hour from Severino. But David always talks about that, Ken. Now, okay, there's value to being up here and just proving you can get big league hitters out, even if it's not starting. And Severino did that out of the pen at the end of last year. Now, how about what Brian Cashman thinks about Luis Severino? Let's check in with Meredith.
Well, Ryan, you really have to credit him, because there was a lot of chatter. Is he better suited for the bullpen? And I think you have to remember, he made his major league debut at 21, struggled at 22 years old.
And gives up a homer here to Kinsler. First run of the game for Detroit, as Ian Kinsler knocks out his 13th of the year. Severino's going to be very happy with you, Meredith. Right? Hasn't given up a run all game.
Definitely my fault, Ryan. Aside from that home run, he has been fantastic this season, keeping the ball in the ballpark. And Brian Cashman simply said, we are not giving up on a 23-year-old starter with that type of stuff. We believe he can get the job done, as you see that one right there going out of the ballpark.
As a hanging slider.
Well, that's the point.
They get hit.
But when you're that young, Kenny, it's not always this steady climb. Sometimes you're going to have some peaks and valleys.
Well, we're seeing it from other young players on the team.
Severino really thought he was doing the right thing when he came out for the 2016 season. I was actually in the Dominican Republic with him prior to the season, and he really put on a lot of muscle mass, thinking that he was bulking up, that would help him get through an entire season, but it actually wound up hurting him. He lost a little bit of weight coming into this season, felt as though his flexibility improved because of it. Also called Pedro Martinez, had him help with his mechanics a little bit, the changeup, and all of that really came. Nice 2017 campaign.
Yeah, it certainly has all come together for him, as Torres can't quite snare that. A base hit for Presley.
Tiger fans begin to liven up a bit after the home run by Kinsler. Now the base hit by Presley.
Severino been very efficient all night, just like Tanaka was last night. He has struck out Justin Upton twice, swinging both times. Once a nasty slider, the next a really good changeup, but that is smoked to left, and now 3 straight hits off Luis Severino here in the 6th for Detroit.
This kind of reminds me of the inning that Masahiro Tanaka had last night when he was just cruising along, and all of a sudden the Tiger Bats came alive and they scored a few runs. But by that time the Yankees had a big cushion. Larry Rothschild out to the mound just to slow things down here. Upton having an all-star year, picked himself up a base hit after striking out a couple of times. Former #1 draft pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks, going back in the day.
Yankee bullpen is well rested. Day off Monday. And Chasen Shreve, the only Yankee to throw yesterday out of the bullpen. But obviously with the big cushion, you wouldn't mind giving some more of your big guns a little time, perhaps.
Well, if you could use just one pitcher out of the bullpen tonight, Joe Girardi would go for that, and they'd be even more well rested going into the finale here tomorrow. You don't want to use too many guys out of the bullpen with day game looming.
And one of the things that Joe talked about today, he was asked about whether or not there's any kind of innings limit on Severino, and he said, you know, it's not something we're concerned about with Severino. We feel like he's in good shape. But yeah, if he has a big lead at some point, could I try and find a spot here or there to give him a blow? Then sure. That's looped into shallow right. Hicks will get to it. 1 down.
Soft fly ball off the bat of Cabrera.
Here is Castellanos, who last night in his final 2 at-bats had an out of the park home run and then an inside the park home run.
He actually tied his career high with the inside the park home run. It's 18. He had 18 last year. So he should finish somewhere north of 20 this year. New career high for Nicholas Castellanos.
Severino trying to work around a little trouble here in the 6th. Gets the call on a high slider, 1-1. One of the interesting things with Severino is when you look at his numbers first, second, third time through the order, the batting average actually drops that third time through. Opponents hitting just 200 against him.
Well, we mentioned how he can maintain his velocity throughout the game, but if you don't get to him early, he's getting better. I mean, he can sense the finish line or handing it over to the bullpen.
There are those numbers we're talking about. I mean, they're all excellent.
And what I think they're hitting like 221 against him, the league.
Right.
Yeah.
He's 4th in the American League in batting average against. You look at where he is ranking wise in the American League. He's top 5 in so many key categories. He's 3rd in WHIP, 4th in ERA.
He's not going to win the Cy Young, but he's going to get some votes.
Yeah. There are those rankings. He's top 5 in every single one of those categories in the league. And he could have quite a few more wins. Early in the year, there were several games he left with leads the bullpen did not hold on to. Count is 2-2 on Castellanos.
got a piece of the last two. Yankees play Castellanos to hit the ball the opposite field. Chad Green, another hard thrower out of the Yankee bullpen. Looks like he's ready.
Castellanos putting together a very nice at bat here against Severino. Severino cruised through 4, worked around a couple of 2-out base runners into 5th. And here in the 6th, the home run by Kinsler, back-to-back hits from Presley and Upton, and a fly out from Cabrera. And here, 2-2 on Castellanos, who takes count full now with 1 out. Now Severino and Sanchez will discuss this 3-2 offering to Castellanos.
I believe that was a verbal sign. You know, the runner's been out at second base for a while. Young Tiger fan.
First 3-ball count of the night for Severino. The payoff. Swing and a miss. He got him with the changeup.
He picked up a strikeout on that pitch on Upton earlier in the game. And Castellanos, who had not seen one of these during this whole at bat. And it shows you this is an emerging pitch and a very effective one for somebody who throws near 100 miles an hour. 6 strikeouts now.
Well, it definitely tells you something, Kenny. That was the highest leverage pitch he's thrown of the night. Obviously, it's still 8-1, but for what this game is, that was it. And what did he go with? He went with the changeup. Just missed high and out with the slider.
Yeah, not quite out of the woods yet with the veteran hitter and Martinez at the plate.
Martinez has 1 of the 5 Tigers hits. Poked in the air to left. Gardner drifts towards the track, makes the catch, inning over. So Severino works around trouble. Tigers do get on the board. It's 8-1 Yankees. Brought to you by Infinity. Empower the drive. What damage from 3, 4, 5 tonight, and then 8 and 9 in the Yankees order. As the Bombers have put up an 8 spot after 13 last night and have an 8-1 lead in the top of the 7th. Here's Aaron Judge, who's had a good night. A couple of hits, including a ringing double off the wall in center, which was one of those heat-seeking lasers that we saw so often in the first half. Not that high off the ground, but just blurring by everybody. Big swing there.
Knocked the mask right off the face of Hicks. Has had kind of a rough night. First get hit in the arm and now takes this off the mask. Got hit with a pitch. Now hit with a foul tip. Man. Sometimes you have days like this.
Yeah.
Or evenings like this.
99 in the arm, and then that explosive foul ball.
Judge has been to the plate 7 times in this series, been on base 6 times.
And Judge has worked the count full. Didi Gregorius, who homered his last at bat, on deck. Swing and a miss as Judge chases and down on strikes.
Expecting a fastball, 3-2. He got it.
Here was the Didi Gregorius home run in the 5th. Slammed it to right center, and then Gary Sanchez wanted no part of it. And Didi finally came over and said, I got the power back from you. Gary Sanchez has been jokingly going up to Didi, extending his arms and saying he's taking his power away, and Didi hadn't hit a homer since Gary got hot. But that finally ended tonight for Gregorius.
Yep, his 19th of the year, knocking on the door of 20.
And now he strokes it right into the glove of Iglesias after it took off, nearly took off the head of Hill. The Bell make that.
Well, Bell is on the hill.
You're a good partner, Kenny.
Yeah. Now here comes Headley.
This poor man.
Yeah, he's hit the ball hard twice now. He does have a sacrifice fly to run batted in.
Hit the ball hard 3 times last night with no results. Could easily be looking at multi-hit games in each of the first 2 of this series. Instead, he's looking for his first hit of the series. Last time up, really nice running shoestring catch from Andrew Romine in center field. That one will not be caught. Will it be fair? Oh yeah, it is fair and long gone. Chase Headley finally found some room for it to drop. His 8th home run of the year, and it's 9-1 Yankees.
The only one who had a chance to catch that was a fan. Headley's last 2 home runs have been hit right-handed, and he smokes this one. Just a matter of fair or foul. That one was about 20 feet fair. Less than that, but way back in the seats in left field.
And Kenny, how about this? the second straight odd inning that the Yankees have 2 outs and nobody on and keep their streak alive with a solo homer. Gregorius did it in the 5th. Headley does it in the 7th. And the Yankees have still scored in every odd frame through the first 2 games of this series. Now Headley got the scouting report on Bell before he stepped up.
Must have said likes to throw one down the middle every once in a while.
Be ready for it.
Yeah.
And you could see Joe Girardi going over to him. He was having fun with him yesterday about not being able to find any spots for his Rockets to land. Frazier goes down on strikes. Then the 7th, but the Yankees add one more. Chase Headley with a solo bomb to left. It's 9-1 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Severino and his command and presence. A little interesting example of this when he had runners on in the 6th. You see Gary Sanchez having a little conversation with Todd Frazier, and Severino kind of pulls Gary back.
Yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of our boss, John J. Filippelli, who says, come on, guys, one meeting.
Right. Right. You don't pull out your phone in the middle of a flip meeting.
No, you don't. Phone is on silent, definitely.
And you don't have a side conversation. So somewhere, John Filippelli is applauding Luis Severino's meeting tactics.
Talk about maintaining. There's a 98-mile-an-hour fastball here in the 7th inning.
Swing and a miss. Oh. Straight cheddar from Luis Severino, 100 miles an hour. Taking a look at the Tigers in-game box score. It's brought to you by Infinity. Empower the drive. 5 hits, 4 of them singles. The lone run came off the bat of Ian Kinsler in the 6th, the solo homer. Seven strikeouts for Severino, who deals strike 1 to Romine. count now full. 100 miles an hour high from Severino. Jose Iglesias on deck.
The Tigers have not done much hitting in this series, as Romine gets on base for the second time. Now, their hitting coach is Lloyd McClendon. There's Lloyd, former Major League manager with the Pirates and Seattle. The Little League World Series is going on now.
Yeah.
And back in 1971, Lloyd McClendon played in the Little League World Series. He played for the Gary, Indiana team. He is now in the Little League Museum Hall of Excellence because of what he did in that 71 World Series. First pitch is outside for a ball. Playing for Gary, Indiana, he got 5 swings. He got 5 swings in that World Series, hit 5 home runs. And they walked him intentionally 5 times. His nickname was Legendary Lloyd.
I mean, you can't do any better than that. 5
swings and 5 home runs. Of course, Lloyd went on to play in the major leagues. After those 5 swings, they said no more swings.
No.
That must have been a heck of a feeling. 5 swings and 5 homers. Base hit for Iglesias, who's hit the ball hard.
Yes, he has. Had nothing to show for it before that one. But now Kinsler up with 2 on and 1 out. It was Kinsler who cracked the scoreboard for Detroit with a solo homer in the 6th.
By the way, that walk to Romine, the first walk the Yankees have given up in this series.
Yes. Severino did hit a batter earlier, but he had only been in 1 3-ball count. Good slider for a strike. Of course, Gary, Indiana, which you bring up, Kenny, is where the Jacksons are from.
Yeah, we are in Motown, aren't we?
We are.
Have a discussion. You know, somebody up in the Yankee pen? Yeah, there is. 98 pitches for Severino, but he's closing in on that magic number of 100. Severino's doing most of the talking here.
Severino allowed just 1 base runner through the first 4.
Yeah, I think of what Jim Cott used to say years ago.
Yeah.
It never says losing catcher in the paper. It says losing pitcher.
So throw what you want to throw.
Yep. If you're convinced you can get a guy out.
One and 2 as Kinsler check swung.
Last 3 innings been a little tougher for Severino than the previous 4.
Worked around a couple of 2-out base runners in the 5th. Gave up a homer and stranded 2 in the 6th. Now trying to strand 2 in the 7th. Kinsler went as he chases the slider. 2 down now here in the 7th. And that is going to do it for Luis Severino on his 100th pitch. He fans Kinsler, and Joe Girardi will come and get him. Another quality outing from the Yankees' young right-hander. He leaves after 6 2/3 innings of 1-run ball, responsible for the 2 runners on base. It'll be Chad Green coming in as the Yankees make the call to the bullpen, brought to you by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Severino. 8 strikeouts, just 1 walk, 6 2/3 innings. 1 run allowed. He is responsible for the 2 runners on here with 2 outs in the 7th. 14th time this year he's gone at least 6 2/3.
If he gets the win tonight, it'll be 6 wins in his last 7 starts.
Here's Chad Green. Try and strand those 2.
Former Tiger farmhand, who's done an excellent job for the Yankees.
He's acquired in the Justin Wilson trade, along with Luis Sessa. Wilson has since been shipped to the Cubs.
Yeah, that's trying to bolster their bullpen. Presley had 1 of the 5 hits against Severino tonight.
Single in the 6th. There's a strike.
As the Tigers face Green here, they're going to see more of the same. A pretty good fastball. Maybe not 100, but certainly over 95 from time to time. You just saw 97.
Green struggled in his 2nd inning of work in his last appearance in Boston, but he sat for so long in the top of the 7th inning before coming back out. Gave up a couple of base runners, and they both ended up scoring off of Tommy Kahnle. Pumped a heater in there, and the count is full.
97 on a. That tells you a pitcher has an explosive fastball. When it's a fastball count for a hitter, you can look for it. 3-1, and you get it, and you still can't turn it around.
Runners will go as that's fouled back. So Romine and Iglesias will trot back and do it again with 3-2 and 2 outs. Tipped into the glove. Sanchez hangs on, and Green does the job as he strands 2 with a fanning of Presley. To the 8th inning we go. Yankees dugout. Fans, you can have fun coming out to Yankee Stadium on Friday, August 25th for Star Wars night. There will be special Star Wars theme throughout the night and appearances by some of your favorite Star Wars characters. In addition, the first 18,000 guests in attendance will receive a special Darth Vader Yankees knit cap. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster. You literally could not create a giveaway that I liked more than that, Kenny. That's like tailor-made.
So you like Darth Vader then?
I'm a huge Darth Vader fan.
Oh, okay.
As Ellsbury flies out. Did you see his final scene in Rogue One?
The one where he
just came out this past year?
No, I did not.
Oh, you got to see it.
If there's a game on, I'm going to miss it.
See, Didi and Sanchez have been chatting all night.
Hey, Torres has a very good night going. 3 for 3. Can he have a great night? Get that 4th hit.
Yep, he got it. 4th hit of the night for Ronald Torres.
A great night for Toe. Now he's over 300.
And they're still talking.
The Yankees now with 12 hits in a game.
Second 4-hit game of the season for Ronald Torres. And Kenny, his average is at 299.
We'll round it off.
I mean, we've talked about it a lot over the last couple of days, but what a luxury to be able to plug in a guy who's hitting nearly 300.
Worth his weight in gold. Good stop by Hicks on a pitch in the dirt.
Gardner's hit the ball hard a few times tonight. In the 1st, in the 4th, and the 6th. That's squibbed up the middle. Nice play by Kinsler on the glove, but then throws it away. And Gardner will advance to 2nd.
That's going to go as a fielder's choice and an error on Kinsler, who probably knew he had to hurry. With Gardner going down the line, steps on the bag, and this throw is more towards Tony Pena than it was to Miguel Cabrera. Tony wanted no parts of it. Fielder's choice, E4, allows Gardner to get the 2nd.
So now an opportunity for Aaron Hicks, who's 0 for 3, walked and scored in the 3rd. And he hits that hard and through the left side, a base hit. Gardner rounding 3rd. He's headed home and will score. An RBI single for Aaron Hicks, who joins the party. And it is a 10-1 Yankees lead.
Well, the error comes back to haunt the Tigers immediately. As Hicks jumps on the first pitch and runs it into left field for a base hit. Gardner with 2 outs off of the crack of the bat, and with his speed, he's going to score easily. You see Justin Upton thinking about the throw home, and decides I'll just get it into 2nd.
So the Yankees cracked double digits in back-to-back games to begin this series against Detroit. Sanchez pops that foul, and that will just make the seats.
The Yankees have now scored 4 straight innings.
Scoring started tonight with this man, as Sanchez hit yet another home run, his 26th of the year. Solo shot in the 1st.
There's only been 2 innings in this game where the Yankees have not scored.
The 2nd and the 4th. 16th time this season the Tigers have allowed 10 or more runs.
Second night in a row.
Foul ball is what's being said at home as Sanchez will run down to first and be thrown out, but that's a foul ball. Home plate umpire Ben May very loudly, you could probably hear him yelling foul ball, foul ball, foul ball.
Now it did sound a little there's a little funky sound when the ball was hit. Sanchez hustled though. Let's listen. It didn't hit him.
No. And it looked like Brad Ausmus was mouthing to Ben May, wait, he didn't run like it was a foul ball. He ran right down to first after he hit it. But Sanchez is going to get another crack here.
Here's another look. I mean, Sanchez took off like it didn't hit him. I don't know. It's hard to tell from that angle. Here's another look. Nah, it didn't hit him.
And that's why he ran right away.
Yeah.
And that was Brad Ausmus's point. Like, Sanchez ran right down to first. And now he delivers that to center. Romine back. It's in the yard, and he has it for the final out of the 8th. For the Yankees add another. It's 10-1 as we go to the bottom of the frame. The Honda Summerbration sales event. Yankees scored 1 in the first on a Gary Sanchez homer, 5 in the third, and then have picket fenced it from the 5th through the 8th. Another strong start from Luis Severino, goes 6 2/3 innings, and a huge night for Ronald Torreyes, 4 for 4. Chad Green out there after getting the final out of the 7th. Struck out Presley. By the way, Kenny, the Yankees have scored double-digit runs in back-to-back games for the first time since June 10th and 11th against the Orioles. Couple defensive changes for the Yankees. Ronald Torreyes shifts over to shortstop. And Tyler Wade comes in to play second base. And Tyler Austin now at first.
Day game coming up tomorrow. Joe Girardi trying to get some of his players off their feet.
The Yankees also playing the second game of 16 straight. So any place where they can steal a couple innings of rest for any of the regulars, Joe Girardi's going to do that. A little high, 2-2.
And a pinch hitter in the on deck circle. Same thing applies for the Tigers tomorrow. Day game. It's Jacoby Jones. They're trying to get Miguel Cabrera a few innings off.
Upton ropes that to left. That will get down, go to the wall. Justin Upton motors into second with his second straight hit. This is a leadoff double.
Of all the Tigers, Justin Upton probably having the best season. Made the All-Star team this year. That is his 35th double of the year. It's going to put up there with the league leaders. One hop off the wall.
Going to be very interesting to see what he does with his opt-out at the end of this year. The 4 years and $88.5 million left. He's 29 years old, turns 30 in 2 days. See Jacoby Jones's numbers. Takes strike one.
He's just looking at the doubles leaders. It's Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Indians with 39. Who he too is having a very good year.
Nice stop by Sanchez.
Well, this is what Joe Girardi, Tony Pena would like to see more of. Quickness, getting down, anticipating the ball in the dirt. That was a tough one to come up with. He had to backhand it.
Todd Frazier was talking about that last night, saying, you know, you guys don't necessarily get to see it, but I'm watching how hard this guy is working at blocking balls, the time he's spending with the coaches to improve behind the plate. Way late on that fastball, strike three.
Might have helped out Chad Green by chasing it out of the zone. Green's second strikeout. He does, when he comes out of bullpen, he usually brings strikeouts with him.
Austin Romine looks like he's getting ready to hit.
I have a feeling you'll see him behind the plate tomorrow in the day game.
Probably Sanchez DHing the way he's swinging. Crackling fastball, 1-2, perfectly painted.
Well, 98 on the corner. There's not much you can do with that.
Swing and a miss.
Could do even less with that one. 3 strikeouts now. All swinging. Overpowering fastball. They get a pinch hitter here. James McCann takes over as the DH.
And strike 1 from Green.
Just can't come. Takes the first 2 pitches. He's down 0-2.
He's like, can you save the perfectly painted fastballs for the guys who've been in the game?
Well, he hasn't even had a swing to get loose yet.
Yeah. The 0-2. Sanchez caroms it right to Green, but on to third. Goes Upton.
That's
a wild pitch.
Yeah, that's very wide. Yeah, Green's in here. His fastball's been his best pitch. He hasn't been able to get this breaking ball over tonight.
I don't know what's going on over there, but
like a dragonfly.
Oh, it's a praying mantis or something.
Dragonfly, maybe. I don't know.
Wow. Swing and a miss. McCann goes down as Green strikes out the side. And strikes out 4 in an inning and a third. That dude's cool with that thing chilling there. Presented by authority of the New York Yankees, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Well, this game has made its way into the 9th inning. Yankees with a 10-1 lead and some defensive changes for the Tigers. Andrew Romine goes to first. Jones in center. Matuk in left. And Machado now at second. As the Yankees will send up Austin Romine to pinch hit for Judge, and he strokes a single to left field.
A chance to get Judge out of the game, but also a chance to get Romine in at bat before he probably plays tomorrow. Kind of ease him into the series. Looks like he's ready. The Yankees now with 14 hits.
Now, we've seen Joe Girardi do that a few times this year, where if he knows Romine's going to play the next day and the result's not in doubt, give him an at bat at the end of the game before, and it has paid dividends.
And plus, he gets to say hello to his brother, who's playing first base.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was really the priority. Tyler Wade got an at bat late yesterday, had an infield single.
How proud of the parents watching this game tonight. That's got to be cool.
That's got to be
that's
amazing.
awesome.
To have both of your boys playing in this game, and obviously it's a familial thing as well with their father, Kevin, in the 7 years he played in the big leagues.
And each have hits in this game.
Wade takes strike 3.
That's a 4th strikeout for Bell. And now Tyler Austin will get his first at bat. Yeah, that's cool stuff.
Tyler Austin takes strike 1. Now, speaking of cool stuff, Kenny, Rich Hill tonight in Pittsburgh had a perfect game into the 9th. There was an error in the 9th inning. He kept the no-hitter through 9, but it was a 0-0 game. He came out to pitch the 10th and then gave up a walk-off home run
oh my goodness,
to Josh Harrison, which was the first hit of the game for Pittsburgh.
I'm thinking back. I was doing a game, Montreal game. Pedro Martinez had a perfect game through 9 against the Padres, but the Expos didn't score.
Right.
And Padres ended up winning that game. I think Bit Roberts had the game-winning hit. But prior to that, I think Pedro had given up a hit, and Felipe Alou took him out of the game. Pedro was a young pitcher in those days.
And it does not get remembered as a perfect game because it was not, after you give up the base runner.
Yeah, that's when I think Felipe took him out.
Yeah. And even if Pedro hadn't come out and given up a base runner, had he just called it after 9, it still in a 0-0 game would not go down as a perfect game.
No.
Has to be a complete game. You have to retire every single hitter.
Now, maybe even more of a heartbreak was Harvey Haddix, who for the Pirates, 12 innings, he was perfect and gave up a home run to Joe Adcock of the Braves to lose.
The hitters better do something nice for you after that. Austin waves and misses.
Now, I don't recall what year that was. That's back in the 50s probably, but maybe 60s.
Now, speaking of statistical oddities, you guys have heard us bring this up a lot tonight, but the Yankees have scored in every single odd inning in these first 2 games of this series. They scored in the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th yesterday. 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th today. But that's obviously in jeopardy here in the 9th.
Yeah, it is. They got the leadoff single.
They did. In the 5th and the 7th, they had 2 outs, nobody on, and got solo home runs. There's a little talking going back and forth between Andrew and Austin.
Two pitches in a row. Kind of put Todd Frazier in the spin cycle here.
Frazier stays alive. Oh for 3 tonight. Did walk and score in the 6th.
Couple of laughers for the Yankees in the opening games of this series. Last night 13-4. Tonight it's 10-1. Severino was dealing.
Frazier swings and misses. Bell strikes out the side after the single from Austin Romine. Bottom of the 9th coming up. Buy your Tri-Honda dealer. Hurry into your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on 2017 models. By Mont Tremblant, find your trail. By Spectrum, join America's fastest growing TV, internet, and voice provider. Get the Spectrum Triple Play today. By Toyota, tested, trusted Toyota. Let's go places. By Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. And by Audi, get exceptional offers on select models during the Summer of Audi sales event. Tommy Kahnle has come on for the bottom of the 9th inning with the Yankees leading 10-1. And the Yankees 3 outs away from getting to 11 games over 500 for the first time since June 16th.
There are the numbers on Tommy Kahnle. Another hard throw out of the bullpen. 75 strikeouts in 48 1/3 innings. So the Yankees trying to put the finishing touches on this one. Quick turnaround. Day game tomorrow. Sleep fast, as they say. Well spotted fastball over the corner. 4 of the last 5 Tigers have struck out swinging.
Let's punch to right and deep. Hicks gets back to the wall and puts it away. Hey, tomorrow the Yankees are back on Yes, as Kenny was just talking about, and they close out this set with the Tigers. Coverage starts at noon with Audi batting practice today and the Chevy Yankees pregame. Then we'll call all the action of this matinee matchup here in Detroit. It's only on Yes. You know, Kenny, we were just talking about how Rich Hill had his no-hitter broken up in the 10th inning on a Josh Harrison walk-off home run. Well, Josh Harrison back in 2012 broke up a Justin Verlander no-hitter with 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Playing a role of spoiler, huh?
That's right. Now that one clearly hit the foot of the batter. Gary Sanchez got away with one earlier. Andrew Romine actually took the pain here. Boom.
Right at the bottom of the shin.
George Girardi has said Yankees have to get Canely right. He's struggled a bit lately.
Well, this is one of those games where you can not much pressure. 9-run lead in the 9th inning. Chance to work on some things, work on your control.
And that was exactly what Joe talked about, just getting ahead in counts rather than behind. Stays 0-2 here.
And he's been ahead on the first 2 hitters.
Can Andrew get a hit in the same inning that his brother did? Tommy Canely certainly hopes not. Austin probably hopes not. Swing and a miss. Good high fastball from Canely. And the Tigers are down to their final out. And Romine will go sit down. He had a good seat for his brothers at bat and then said, okay, I'll sit down for the final out. Here's Jose Iglesias. He's hit the ball hard tonight.
You know, one of the things about playing for a team that's well out of it late in the season, and it's fortunately I didn't have this feeling very often, but it's almost like you're playing for yourself. You know, you're playing to put numbers up. Teams that are in the race, they're playing to win ball games. They're playing because they know if we win, everybody's going to do well. And you know, having never played on any really bad teams,
you were used to something always being on the line.
Exactly.
Well, Jose Iglesias is the only Tigers batter who has not struck out tonight.
He's got a chance here.
He does. $12 strikeouts. And Iglesias just held up. Iglesias smashes that deep and out to left. A solo shot for Jose Iglesias, his 5th of the year. And it is now a 10-2 game.
He hadn't been swinging the bat well all night long, as you said. And he still the only Tiger starter who has not struck out tonight.
13 strikeouts tonight for the Tigers, but Iglesias not included.
Right in the middle of the plate, and not that he's a big-time home run hitter, but he kind of knew this one was out of the ballpark. Nice catch. There's Dixon Machado, who can play short or second.
Punch down the right field line, foul. So third straight appearance where Canely has given up a run. Just the fourth home run he's given up this year. The first he's given up since joining the Yankees. Just missed the outside corner, 3-1. A lot of strikeouts on that scoreboard. Scorecard as Aroldis Chapman warms in the ninth. That is roped fair down the left field line. The bounce out off the sidewall and a double with 2 outs for Dixon Machado.
Tigers not going quietly. Trying to keep things going a little bit longer. You can see, oh, great camera shot. Right down the line for the 2-base hit. Machado's 3rd double of the season.
So a fly out and a strikeout, but then a home run by Iglesias and the double from Machado. And now Canely trying to retire Presley and end this game, give the Yankees this series, and put them at 11 games over 500 for the first time since June 16th. Ball 1.
Also put them in position for the sweep tomorrow.
Yes. Jaime Garcia against Michael Fulmer, last year's Rookie of the Year in the American League. Good changeup there. That should do it, and does. The Yankees win it 10-2, and they take the first 2 games of this 3-game set. Yankees had been 0-11 in 3-game series since June 12th, but they have already ensured that they have a series win here in Detroit, and they will go for the sweep tomorrow afternoon against the Tigers.
Big night for Ronald Torreyes, among others, for the Yankees tonight as they pound out 14 more hits here in Detroit.